Is the Antichrist, the false prophet, and the fallen angels currently imprisoned in Antarctica? Or maybe Antarctica is the location of the bottomless pit, and if not there, I have one more location that to me seems very interesting for a possibility for the bottomless pit location. These will be the topics of this video. First, in Revelation 9 verses 1 through 2, it says, "Then the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fallen from heaven to the earth. To him was given the key to the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and smoke arose out of the pit like the smoke of a great furnace. So the sun and the air were darkened because of the smoke of the pit." This is one of a few places in the book of Revelation that the bottomless pit is opened, and from the sounds of this, since it is opened on the earth, it sounds like the location and the access of it is somewhere on the earth. Now, the continent of Antarctica is shrouded in mystery, as many of us know. It's an entire continent that the general public can't even go and visit. The Antarctic Treaty, which came into play on June 23rd, 1961, has been in place ever since then and just grown, with the majority of the world, 80% of nations signing on to this agreement, saying that just general public cannot go to Antarctica, and it's strictly for scientific purposes. Which is kind of crazy when you think about the fact they just have an entire continent dedicated to science. We can't even go there. This, of course, has led people to think, are they hiding something there? We know the Nazis went down there in World War II and started to build bases there. Some people think and believe those bases never went inactive and they could even potentially still be going on. But nonetheless, this place is shrouded in mystery because of the fact that it's off limits to the public. And there's an area in Antarctica with a massive land anomaly going on. The so-called Wilkes Land Gravity Anomaly was first uncovered in 2006 when NASA satellites spotted gravitational changes indicating the presence of a huge object sitting in the middle of a 300-mile wide impact crater. The area is 151 miles across and a minimum depth of ice of 2,700 feet. Of course, the scientific community is labeling this as an impact crater, but of course, no one truly knows. But according to the book of Jude, as well as the book of Enoch, we know that the fallen angels that rebelled against God and that were on the earth were cast to a location for imprisonment until the day of judgment. This has led to the theory that this anomaly is potentially the location where the fallen angels are imprisoned, or something that I've thought recently, potentially the location of the bottomless pit. The book of Enoch has an interesting few verses that make it sound almost as if Enoch was taken to what sounds like Antarctica, and this is where he saw that the fallen angels were cast and imprisoned. Now, I believe the YouTube channel Israeli News Live was the first person to talk about this subject, and it was years ago. Definitely interesting, and it's from the book of Enoch chapter 18, and I'll read the few verses here, and it's verses 7 through 9. And it says, "I saw the path of the angels, I perceived at the extremity of the earth the firmament of heaven above it. Then I passed on towards the south, where burnt both day and night 6 mountains formed with glorious stones, 3 towards the east and 3 towards the south." As we know, Antarctica is the most southern continent, the most southern landform, and for about half the year, the sun is burning day and night, and there are mountain ranges there that could fit this potential location. Now, those fallen angels that rebelled and that are bound and imprisoned will stay there until they are judged on the last day. That's according to Jude 1:6. But I'm a little bit intrigued of the possibility of this being the location of the bottomless pit. As I mentioned before in Revelation 9, the bottomless pit is opened from an angel who has the key to it, and we're told in Revelation 17 verse 8 that the beast that you saw was and is not and will ascend out of the bottomless pit and go to perdition. And those who dwell on the earth will marvel, whose names are not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they see the beast that was and is not and yet is. And then later in Revelation 20, we're told that the same bottomless pit is opened, the dragon is cast back into it, and bound there for 1,000 years. All of this again taking place somewhere on the earth. And it is strange, why is this place so off limits to the public? And then a few years back, we had all these politicians and religious leaders and people going to Antarctica for some strange reason, when if all they're doing there is just looking at seals and penguins, why are all these religious leaders and political leaders going down there? People who will, for sure, at some point or another, at least their organizations or governments at one point in history, will take place in the beast system, this beast that will come out of the bottomless pit and then eventually be cast back into it. And that leads me to another potential location for the bottomless pit, which I'm thinking maybe could be Vatican City. Vatican City from above, as you can see, is actually shaped in the shape of a key. And there's a lot of different key references to the Vatican, which is just really strange. Yes, Vatican Square is called St. Peter's Square. St. Peter in Matthew 16:19 was told by Jesus that he has the keys to the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. But this could really all just play into the ultimate end time scenario in just a very intricate way. Because even though that is a truth that Jesus told about Peter, what we've seen through the progression of years is that the Catholic Church really looks to fit the mystery Babylon of Revelation 17 more than any other organization in the entire world. And it's actually quite interesting because the verses on Babylon, the great mystery Babylon, are in Revelation 17. And then right in Revelation 17:8, we're told the beast comes out of the bottomless pit. And so we have Vatican City shaped like a key. We have St. Peter holding the key on the statue in St. Peter's Square, which makes sense with the Matthew verse. A little strange that Vatican City itself would still be shaped as a key. And then also on the flag of Vatican City, we have the symbols for keys. And they kind of put these key symbols kind of all over everything they really do. It's the crest, really, of the Vatican has two keys on it. So it's really quite interesting that potentially Babylon the Catholic Church, is the shape of the key where the bottomless pit could maybe be opened. I have more videos on the Catholic Church potentially being Mystery Babylon that I'll link in the description below. So again, we know in Jude verse 6 that it says, "And the angels who did not keep their proper domain, but left their own abode, he, God, has reserved them in everlasting chains under darkness for the judgment of the great day." The book of Enoch, not scripture, but also talks about these fallen angels that he saw cast into utter darkness and into imprisonment. So the angels, for the most part, will be imprisoned until they're judged, except the ones that are bound at the Euphrates. They will be released in the end times and wreak absolute havoc on the earth. But the rest of the fallen angels that rebelled, they are imprisoned until God brings judgment against them. The Bible and the book of Enoch make that pretty clear, but we do know that the bottomless pit will be opened in the end. Not only will the beast come out of it, but strange locusts and different creatures, entities that will wreak havoc on the earth, upon everything, really upon almost the entire earth except the 144,000 that have the seal of God on them. They will be released from the bottomless pit as well, and it really seems like this location is somewhere on the earth. Kind of just a fun topic. No one knows for sure, but Antarctica seems like an interesting location because of the secrecy and the strange anomaly going on there. And Vatican City also seems like a pretty interesting possibility. Luckily, when all of that is going on, I do not believe that Christians will be here for that part of the book of Revelation. The 144,000 will be, and whoever's in that category, they have the seal of God. They can't at least be hurt by most of the plague, well, by the plagues and the things going on. But I do believe they still have the potential to be martyred in that time. But one of many endless reasons to give your life to Jesus Christ, so you're not here for that terrible time to find out where that location actually truly is and what comes out of it. Because no one's going to want to see that. And when that happens, people will regret that they didn't give their life to Jesus. So give your life to Jesus Christ today. The most important thing you can do while you're alive on this earth. Thanks for watching, and God bless.